This state of carelessness was just the state of carelessness, but in later time it becomes alasya. And the state of alasya is called laziness. So this state of carelessness culminates itself into the state of laziness. Now it's my habit. It's one of my prominent habit not to move. And on top, I have some problems. They're further influencing my state of mobility. On top, procrastination is not helping. On top, I have a big doubt. The doubt's going to become bigger, bigger, bigger. Carelessness is still there. And that's called laziness now. It's one of my prominent habit. So even if I want to wake up at 5 a.m., it looks impossible. Sixth one, avirati. So avirati is craving. Or this person stays in an imaginary world. The reality for this person is a struggle, but he just imagines that one day I'm going to practice sun salutation, one day I'm going to do this, one day I'm going to do this. Just stays in some imagination, cravings, and not connected with the reality. 7. All this is happening due to Bhranti, Darshan. Bhranti means false, Darshan means you see, perception. Bhranti Darshan stands for false perception. False perception means overvaluation, undervaluation, or wrong, opposite valuation. What is a disease? I would say every disease is psychosomatic. Modern medical science, they already say that 60 to 70% diseases are psychosomatic. Yoga says 100% diseases, they are psychosomatic in their nature. They have their origin in our mind. And how they originate? Anytime two thought conflict each other, anytime two ideas conflict each other, and it's hard for you to choose which one is right. That is the conflict. And that conflict becomes tumor in the mind, and that tumor becomes a problem later on in the body. So it all starts in the mind and then comes into the body. So 100% diseases are psychosomatic. But what is that conflict actually by nature? Because it's hard for me to evaluate the event or a situation of my life, and it seems I have two ideas about the same event. And those ideas, they are fighting with each other. So conflict of the mind is due to false perception. Overvaluation is fighting with undervaluation. Overvaluation is fighting with opposite valuation and misunderstanding. So the fight between you and me is due to false perception. If we can tune ourselves to a particular level of perception which allows us to see the things exactly the same, no problem. So Bhranti Darshan is false perception. 8th one, Alabdha Bhumikatva, stands for inability to move forward in life. Inability to move forward, that means inability to evolve. That means the feeling of stuck. I'm stuck with my job. I'm stuck with my mental state. It seems like for last 10 years I haven't learned anything new. I don't feel as an evolved human organism. I, in my life, is just like a machine doing the routine things on a regular basis and feeling stuck. So if you just get fixed in a routine, what happens? Conflict of the mind, disease, because the nature wants you to evolve. Evolution is spontaneous and it's natural. But just because you are forcing yourself and not helping yourself evolve, there's a conflict between your conscious state of the mind and unconscious state of the mind. Because the natural order from unconscious state wants you to evolve. But you force yourself with the same settings. So anytime I feel stuck, anytime it's hard for me to evolve, it seems like hard for me to understand what is happening around me, and I feel the victim of my surroundings. 9th one, Sanavasti Tattva. This stands for, that's my inability to retain my position. That means if I'm not growing, at least I hold my place. At least I hold my place. But what happens? Just think of it in a way that when I was 25-year-old, in comparison to when I am 39, 40-year-old, experiences of my life, they're supposed to be better comparatively. Like in comparison to when I was 25 years and I'm now 39, 40 years old, so the experience what I'm having right now, these experiences supposed to be better experiences in comparison to when I was 25. And that's what the growth is. That means every day I need to feel more better. more better, more relaxed, more peaceful. But it looks like when I compare my experiences of 40 years with when I was 25 or maybe 20, it looks like they're not even there. Yes, the more I'm growing, it seems like the experiences of my life becoming worse. But the growth is, I must evolve experientially. But it seems like I'm growing, but the experiences of my life, they're becoming worse and worse and worse and worse. So that means I'm not even there where I started. Just think of a train journey and you are on railway station. When you sit on a train and it seems like your train is not moving, but the next train is going forward, it appears that your train is going backward. It appears, and your train is just still. But just because the train next to you is going forward, it seems like you're going backward. So your inability to retain is actually the false perception, because you never go back. You always move forward. But just because the false perception is there, it seems like you're going backward. Because every other thing around you is evolving. The train next to you, they are moving forward. Everything around you is evolving and moving forward. Just because you are staying where you are and you're stuck with it, it looks like you're going backward, because everything is moving forward. Nature is evolving around you, moment by moment. And then what happens? There's going to be some friction. Because if someone is moving forward next to me, if the things are evolving around me, it seems like I'm here and that thing rubs me. And when that thing rubs me, because nature wants you to move. So anavasthit tattva is inability to retain. So these are the 9 things as our mental distraction.